Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the neighborhood nightcapper herself, Sandy Reevy. Say hi.
Hi. I always look forward to this. This is my favorite part of the week.
It is episode 209, July 25th. Let's get right into it.
So on Monday, we start with Over Love. By Tuesday, Look Around You. Can't Decide. Thursday, New Moon. Feel the warmth and the light. Thursday also heading backwards. And chaotic news. By Sunday, it'll take time. So you can win after all.
And in Talisman time, Sandy has finished up two. The first to be skilled in healing practices and the second to attract fame and success to me. Then the upcoming talisman is to be one within self. Then on the horizon, we have our USA's Pluto Return Part 1 and 2 complete, ready for you to watch whenever you are ready. July 30th, that's happening this Saturday, is our August astrology forecast you won't want to miss. And in our house, Sandy and I are on the road again, heading to a family gathering. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you.
Hello, neighborhood nightcapper.
It's a drinking and driveway type of thing. It sounds terrible, but
It does sound terrible.
We're very cognizant of what we do.
Sounds
in the
illegal.
neighborhood here. Yeah.
Right. So
It's a long week.
it is. And first, I want to go direct to all of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your feedback, your reviews. I am giving a call out to any podcast reviews or any feedback that you want to give us on our private form.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that in the description as well for anyone that wants to. I am going to be adding anyone that adds a review or sends us feedback. I'm going to be adding them into the drawing of our 4-year anniversary for an hour-long reading with you.
Nice
Yes.
drawing.
So either you order your orbits and you buy one, get one free.
Right.
And you get every single orbit that you purchase, you get a free ticket into this raffle, or give us a review. Google reviews, Facebook reviews, however you do it, just shoot me a note that you sent it there so I can make sure that your name is in the raffle.
Woo woo. Nice.
Yay. So,
Surprise.
yeah, let's move into the transits. Happening today, Monday, July 25th, Venus squared Jupiter.
These are the two benefics, and they're connecting with each other. It's like Venus is looking over her shoulder toward Jupiter. And, squares can be tense aspects, but it's not all that tense. But what it wants us to do is become aware of what we want or what we already have that is not worthy of our time, our energy, our money, our body, our love, and then be able to reset. Mm-hmm. Take a glance at it, be aware of it, and then say, I spend too much time over there. I spend not enough time over there. What is it that I need to be aware of? Because it's Venus and Jupiter. So
Yeah.
This is a nice aspect, but I called it over love because do you over love something when it's not returned to you? Is it an innate object? Mm-hmm. Is it a material object?
Right.
So it's kind of like, do we share that a little bit more? Do we open that up for more opportunities that you get response back?
Okay.
Right.
And your astrologically interesting day, Tuesday, July 26th, we have 2 transits on this day. The first, Uranus conjunct North Node.
I say look around you. The North Node is always the node of the moon, and it's the forward moving. It's the mouth. It's the Rahu. It's the head of the dragon, and it holds all of our senses. And it wants to satiate. It wants to be satisfied. It wants to,
Move forward, progress.
Yeah. But we have to look around to see who's in our vicinity right now. Who's there, who is not there, who once was recently. This could be a time when you're looking for new things. And so this can be a little bit of a instability where because it's Uranus. Uranus is here saying, let's make changes. Mm-hmm. So who's around, who's out, who's in. So pay attention to those revelations because they are the key that you need to turn. Destiny is calling. What is your humanitarian gift? You are giving, gifting, and leaving as your legacy.
Ooh, what a day.
Yeah, it's my astro interesting day. I mean, it's not often that Uranus comes up and meets the North Node. Yeah, and certainly has never done this in the sign of Taurus. So it is about shaking things up, creating a little bit of a, I don't want to call anything negative in, but a shake up. So, kind of when you're panning for gold. Okay, right. Let's think about that. When you're panning for gold, you just pull everything into the sieve, and you start shaking it around, and what flows through
is not meant to stick
waste.
Around. Right. And I feel very called to this specifically because it reminds us that our existence is bigger than just our existence. That we are a part of this wonderful inner working of humanity, mm-hmm. and we can act and behave and make our decisions with that in mind. I
mean, look around, look what's on the televisions, look what's on the news, look what's being discussed in family circles or in girlfriend or friendship circles, right. In your neighborhood. We just had our neighborhood. What'd you call that drink?
Neighborhood nightcap.
Neighborhood nightcap. Somebody sends out, hey, cocktails in the courtyard. But what those conversations are and what's important, we're here at a really tipping point mm-hmm. in the world. Right. We just talked about that. Pluto is hitting the United States Pluto. So we're alive now. We have choices to make.
Right.
Yeah. And this is just a big day, just a big day.
And so the second transit of this Tuesday, July 26th, is Mercury square Mars.
Can't decide, nor agree.
Right? It's a big decision to make. What type of legacy do you want to leave behind? Some people might not be able to decide.
Right? It's okay. Hold your tongue and hold the steering wheel. Today is not the day to move forward on your thoughts. Because we got Mercury, the planet of communication and thoughts and ideas, squaring Mars. And so Mars has the disagreement part. Instead, use your calm voice. That's your inside voice.
Yes.
Right. And your breathing techniques mm-hmm. To chill out. Because anger, frustration, irritability are ranked high today. Mars here is in Taurus, which is in detriment. He's in detriment here, and he can't hold on. Mm. And the thing about Mercury is in his own bounds in Leo. So he can claim a righteousness. He can claim that he knows the way to go. He has the plans. He has the knowledge, the intellect. So we can see the conflict, right? Mercury thinks he knows the way, and he probably does. But Mars can't hold on to the thought to make it move forward. So, we do need, building something by practicing, by, skilled practice. That's what they call, what are those? Not assistants, but who do you hire and learn a trade? Apprentice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is apprentice, where they're not completely qualified yet, but they're still trying. They're mm-hmm. still trying
right.
to get something right. So it's a good time for making strategic plans, but they're really not happening right now.
Mm-hmm. And so we move on to your favorite day, which is Thursday, July 28th. We have 3 transits here. The first, new moon in Leo.
This is at 5 degrees of Leo, and this is at 12:55 p.m. So, this is at this is Chicago time, Central. So 12:55 is, an hour after lunch. And that means the sun is high in the sky and the moon is below the horizon if they're up. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm talking about a new moon. Duh. The new moon, we're not going to be able to see the moon, right? Because the moon's been moving closer and closer to the sun. But I call this feel the warmth and the light because the moon is meeting up with the sun's power source, right? The sun rules Leo. Sun is in Leo. The sun just got here 5 days earlier. And both of these planets, of course, are making the trine to Jupiter that is stationing at this 8 degrees also today. So this is a very prominent day. So, stand here for a moment or two or three.
Right.
Jupiter is standing here, not moving at all. And sun is in his own sign of regal honor, the proud kingdom. Feel that in you. Are you able to show your sunny side personality? Right? Sunny side, not over easy, sunny side. And the moon is visiting the source of light to recharge her light source, which she does every month anyway at a new moon, but particularly during the Leo.
Because the sun is ruled by Leo.
Yeah, so during the next 2 weeks while the moon is waxing, from the light that the sun has given, shine your light for the next 2 weeks during this waxing period. So plan on doing that. It's really nice.
Yeah. And the next transit is Jupiter stations retrograde.
Yep, heading backwards, and heading backwards to the last 2 degrees of Pisces. So anybody, and this is me, I have a 29-degree Pisces sun. And I know a lot of people that have, I know some people, clients of mine actually, that have very prominent 28, 29 Pisces, which is probably why they've been attracted to me.
Right.
But Jupiter is in Aries right now, stationing at 8 degrees and goes all the way back to 28, 29 of Pisces. So this is reviewing your last expansions. What have been your last hopes, wishes, and dreams? What is that? It's time to review that. What have you been focusing on since early May? These are the thoughts. I know what I've been doing is planning all my retreats. Right. Since early May, when I left for Greece in early May, and I specifically went at that time
to scout
because I knew that whatever I found that was enriching and was going to lead me there the following year. And it's those items that are up for the relook. Where have you expanded that could use some attention? Hey, it might be your physical body, right? Does any of that need attention? Because I wrote here, I know what it is for me. Jupiter hitting my natal sun, which is the ruler of my ascendant, is my body, right? So I know what Jupiter's expanded for me. So, where have you stretched yourself? Where have you gained more? And it's not a bad thing. Right? Where have you gained that you now need to, tap, check in? Yeah.
And the final transit of Thursday, July 28th, Mercury square Uranus.
It's a square. This is chaotic news. And, abrupt thought change. Kind of be surprised, but lean into the new news because that's what you should reflect. Right? Because it's this could be a brilliant idea, but it's hard to achieve. That square.
Right. And sometimes it's kind of that idea that with every closed door, it's just a new beginning, right? Where that's maybe where the square comes in. It's like, oh man, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I was planning for. This is not what I was anticipating. That's when Uranus is kind of coming into surprise. But there is that new beginning. Where can we go from here?
Yeah, and it can be a little bit chaotic. It's like, you're heading along a path and you have a certain time to get to a certain place and you're on schedule, but there's the detour. Now the detour, it will take you an extra hour to go around and now you're late. You've missed something. So allow time here. And we're still on Thursday, and we're only at 4:00 in the afternoon by this time. So, as we get this shine your light new moon, Jupiter heading backwards, and we get this, surprise chaotic news that's going to take us off of our path. Right? It's like, this is a big day. And I did call it my favorite day. Seems like a normal day
sometimes.
I did call it my favorite day because I really like this. I really like this new moon.
And we continue on, jump over a couple of days and jump on to Sunday, July 31st, the end of the month, Mercury opposing Saturn.
Anything opposing Saturn takes time. There's a delay. Saturn wants to slow things down, and sometimes for good measure, right? Some things too fast are just way too fast.
Majority of things are too fast right now. I mean, even just like shipments are way too fast. If we can say that.
Right. I don't know if we can. But whatever is on top of your list to do may go slow. Because when a planet meets up with that strong, and Saturn's really strong in his own sign, especially even though he's retrograde, in any opposition, meaning that there's two sides to the story, and Mercury's got the one, and Saturn's saying, nope, that's not right. There's a restrictive nature of that expression from that planet. So Mercury here, the planet of expression, is in the bounds of himself and can stand up for his own ideas, thoughts, and opinions. So be up for the challenge. I don't mind this, even though things will take time. Some things you have to revel in the moment of planning something and not planning it and jumping. Planning it, if I don't mean to say beat a dead horse, because that's terrible to say, but just
it's staying
in the planning of it for a period of time really could it's where the workout can work out well. It's like when you're doing lap pulls or something, right?
Bicep curls.
Yeah. It's like when you're doing something and you're like, and your trainer's going, because that would be Saturn, right? The authority figure. The trainer's like, I want 10 more, back on your, push-ups or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, I don't think I can. I hate you right now. I hate you right now. Okay, I'm done. Well, I've just built up my muscle. Well, I had to break it down to build it up. Right. So it's that kind of, it'll take time, whatever it is you're doing on this day.
And also you can't go after one workout, look in the mirror and be like, wow, what a transformation.
What's going on? I'm giving up. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, everything like that takes time. And so that sounds great. Also, this same day, Sunday, July 31st, we also have the Sun trine Jupiter.
You know what? Sun trine Jupiter. Now, we know that anytime we hear the sun trining a superior outer planet, it's
usually a good thing.
It's a retrograde. It's either there's a movement of that planet it's moving with. So we know that Jupiter just retrograded a couple days ago. Here's the trine. The next time we get Sun trine Jupiter will be coming out of the retrograde.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's how it all
I didn't
works.
know.
Just for the Jupiter, Saturn, superior planets, and the outer planets. That's how they work.
Okay.
But you can win after all.
Yay! Ding,
Arms
ding,
up,
ding,
ding, ding, ding. The sun here is in his own domicile, in
Leo.
his own rulership in Leo. And if we look at where Jupiter is in Aries, that's where the sun is exalted in Aries, of which he's in harmonious relationship with here in this placement. So happy, you can still win the race. So remember that, earlier we're like, how can we figure this out? How can we do this? This is going to take longer than we anticipated. But by the end of the afternoon, you're like, oh, you know what? That's a good plan. We're gonna start that. But
what is the degrees of Aries that it's at?
8 degrees.
Ah,
yeah. So it's within the first decan. It's the earlier portion here. So, plan on having something work out, even if you're pushing the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pushing the edge.
So it's going to take some time for Jupiter to make it to my 28-degree Aries for a Jupiter return.
Yes, your Jupiter return, because he's going backwards now. So he's not moving. He was moving
He's not moving closer.
No, he's moving away. He was going pretty close. Well, he was getting to 8 because you got the Jupiter and Venus.
Right.
So you're going to get...
Boom, boom.
You get it, that's part of the lucky thing to have them getting blessed. Now, Venus comes by there every year, but Jupiter hits once every 12 years.
Right.
So you're going to get that in 2023.
Okay.
Really, really nice.
Bring it on. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So how do people know? So is it every 12 years after you're born? So you're usually in that 12 denomination?
Nope.
How does someone know that they're having a Jupiter return?
Well, actually, I guess that would be right now that I'm thinking of annual perfections, because annual perfections is like that. So when you go into a first year, it takes 12 years to get back to the first year. So because wherever your Jupiter is on your birth moment, 12 years later, it's going to be coming back to that same birth moment. So yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And yeah, so if somebody is
are you a derivative? Are you a derivative? Will you be a derivative of 12 there?
No, I won't.
You'll be 35 plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's right around that ballpark.
So I think that's a wrap up for the week. It's gonna be great. It's your astrologically interesting day and your favorite day. So boom, boom, great news. I'm excited. Yeah. So let's move into talisman times. You have finished up 2 talismans. The first we discussed last week, and the other one is a new pop-up. So the first one was Tuesday, July 19th, to be skilled in the healing practices.
Yes, I have it right here. To be skilled in healing practices, I announce purposeful rituals as I stand before you. I lead using my diverse abilities so that all may rise up bright and healthy every morning. This is Procyon, and the sun coming up over the horizon right on Procyon. This is a rare piece to get. And the Procyon is the fixed star that is the throat of the dog, of one of Orion's. It's considered his second hound, the hunter. And this is the goddess of healing. And it's really interesting. So I did some research and found that Procyon is very prominent in these 4 people. Check this out. Mm-hmm. Nelson Mandela, skilled at healing practices, right? I stand before you with rituals using my diverse abilities, right? Like he stood for something. Mm-hmm. Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. Maria Montessori.
Wow.
Who discovered the Montessori school.
Well, created. Yeah.
Yeah. And W.D. Gand. And, I wouldn't know who the hell W.D.
I don't know
Gand is if Susan Goodell, the financial astrologer, didn't talk about him. But he is an astrologer that always set financial turn days in the financial market.
Oh, interesting.
When Susan will talk and she'll say, that's a Gand day. Ah. Have you heard her say that?
Yes.
He has the Procyon. So, always kind of the one that comes before a transition. Just right, announcing this, making transitions through practices. So if you want a little bit of this one is still available.
That's great.
Yeah, this was a really cool one.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. It's wonderful purples with a little bit of tan. Also, Saturday, July 23rd, you created to attract fame and success to me.
I stand here willing and able to meet the beautiful and pleasant matters that I welcome into my sphere. All is cared for. And this is Venus ruling the chart up at the top with the moon making some really nice aspects to Mercury and Jupiter. So I really like this because it's about being seen and visible in a recognizable way that has beauty, aesthetics, but to be noticed, to be famed. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, beautiful. And the upcoming talisman, Tuesday, July 26th, to be one within self.
I hold my space sacred. My royalty is my garden. This queen thrives here, where I easily cultivate all my royal powers. Yeah, this is the Venus again in the second decan of Cancer. So she's moved already to 10 degrees. And
that Leo sun is showing.
Well, yeah, it's the Leo sun, but it's also the moon in Cancer. So this has that, the second degree of Cancer is that between 10 degrees and 20 degrees. And there's that special place where Venus sits at this time of year. So nice for that.
And everybody remember that the talisman of the month has sold to finalize the transformation of my body. However, next week we're going to be announcing a new one, so stay tuned next week. Then on the horizon, we have our USA Pluto Return Part 1 and 2 webinar series that Sandy and Susan did. This is a very educational idea of what's going on in the U.S. because the U.S. has a chart. It has taken almost 248 years for Pluto to go all the way around this chart. It'll never happen in a human's world, but it's this country's Pluto return, which is a very transformational, change-oriented, digging up some dirt in order to find the treasure. If any of this is really
truth. Yeah.
If you see any of this on the news, which I'm sure all of us do, it is really informative to learn a little bit more about what is going on astrologically. So there is you can make some sense out of what we are doing here in this time. So I recommend both of those. The part 1 is 20% off and the part 2 is just recently launched. So you can watch it immediately.
Yeah. And then we do a part 3 in December as we finish up this Pluto return, even though we're not going to be finished with it, but we'll have marked some parentheses on what has occurred this year of 2022.
Mm-hmm. And July 30th, this Saturday, we have our August astrology forecast. And if you haven't been around our forecasts, they're a really wonderful way for you to get all of these dates straight from Sandy and Susan. They take an hour out of their Saturday to drill down, give us an idea of what all of these dates for the month are. And it's great. It's a free event. Yeah. I will forewarn everyone that it might not always be a free event coming up soon.
Surprise, surprise.
So if you want to check it out now, this is a great opportunity while it's still available and free.
And actually, we'll be out of town, so I'm bringing my backdrop. I already told my mom, right. Mom, I've got a Facebook Live. She's like, oh, okay. So she's going to attend.
Right. Yeah. So anyone, it is on Facebook Live. However, if you don't have a Facebook or anything like that, I do post it up on the website afterwards if you wanted to look at that. So let's move on to August 29th through October 11th. That is our fall equinox constellation bracelet workshop coming back in hot. This is a very private, wonderful, small group, very personally oriented.
Do you want to read through some of those intentions that I found all the times? We're doing a lot of the early morning, like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on your
that's a great way to start the day.
It really is. And there's a lot of fixed stars. The planets are moving a lot of fixed stars that I was able to find. That's a kind of rare for some of the constellation bracelet workshops. They're mostly planetary. Mm-hmm. This particular one has a lot of fixed stars.
Interesting.
So you want to read a few off?
Yeah, we start off with the new moon in Virgo. To be drawn to more social interaction. We all need that, don't we? Mm-hmm. To lighten the mood. That's the Mercury opposing Jupiter. Increase health, honor, and favor. To bring riches and honors. To incorporate idealistic and dreamy views. I like that one. To be protected and safe. the fall equinox to find balance and equilibrium, and also a new moon to increase relationship compatibility. I will have all of these dates updated soon on the website. So if anyone is curious about when these dates are happening for the fall equinox, you can jump over there, or of course that link is in the description. You don't actually have to be present for all of them. It is preferred, I think, by us and you. But just in case, those time frames don't work out for you, everything is recorded. It gets sent to you. You can stream it live on your account. Super easy, and a really wonderful way where Sandy, even after she goes into what's going on mundanely, she goes into everyone's personal chart. And this is a private group. It's completely confidential and secure, and it turns out to be an amazing support system.
Yeah, because everyone has their affirmation. As I roll a bead, we go into a ceremony.
And by the end of it, everyone gets their own intention bracelet. It is so cool. It's one of our favorite. Well, it's our favorite thing to do, other than retreats, I have to say. Right.
I'm all about my retreats right now.
But because it really builds upon, each meeting that we have, and we have 13, 14 Zoom virtual meetings, so it doesn't matter where you're at. You can even be in another country. They really build on each other, and it creates this understanding and this constellation that is all your own.
I know. I love it.
So also we do, since we're talking all about our 2023 retreats, we have our Mexico retreat still available, our early bird for the Bali retreat, that is April in 2023, and our early bird for the Amargos Greece retreat.
Amargos.
And that is in September. So any of those links.
September of 23.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and we got the names just adding up. We just got 2 more people yesterday.
It's so exciting. So if you are on the fence on the retreat, what I'll also do is include in the description an opportunity for you to have a 15-minute call with Sandy. It is complimentary, and it's just to get an idea of, do you like the way, Sandy teaches? Do you like the way that she reads? Do you like, conversing with her? That type of, you can really tell when you're one-on-one with somebody, whether or not you're going to, get along or go to their retreat.
And ask questions about the retreat.
Right. Yeah. The we tweet.
Yeah.
So I'll include that in here for you all. I think that's it for On the Horizon.
Yeah.
I really hope that we see you all on July 30th. That's Saturday for August astrology forecast. Let's move into our house.
Yes. So
we are on the road again. Can we believe it? It's great. And we are headed to a family gathering. But before we do, we're actually
going to do a family gathering.
Not 1, but 2. So
you haven't been to see your brother
in his new
place, in
his new like forever place, which is great because he was always moving around. He was basically, what do they call him? Snowbirds?
No, a seasonal golf pro.
Right, but the people who kind of like move with the hot weather.
I know, but I think those are old.
Oh,
I think he's called a seasonal golf pro.
All right. He is a seasonal golf pro. And
now he's a permanent golf pro.
Right. Yeah. So he found a year-round course that is, we've already talked about it on this podcast, but Valhalla, and it's one of the most famous golf courses in the U.S. And yeah, he's a pro over there, so I'm excited. I get to see their apartment. I get to see where he works. I get to, enjoy Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Very well said.
Thank you. And I've actually been there before one time by myself when I did the Wanderlust Louisville. Mm-hmm. And it was great. Got to see the Bat Factory, and there was a really big, it was a chalk, like a sidewalk drawing festival. that I have family over in Louisville, and me and my cousin Sam were just walking around. We went to go see the Louisville Slugger, and then we went over to this park, and it was just like Mary Poppins. Remember where he's like drawing
yes,
and then they like jump inside?
Yes.
These reminded me of how beautifully drawn that was.
Wow.
So there was just so many different sidewalk artists, I guess I would call them, or
I'm
chalk
going to watch
artists.
Mary Poppins again. I love that movie.
It is so good. So yeah, that's what I remember, but I'm excited to create more memories while we go there.
Yeah.
And so let's see.
And I'm making a big Greek fest
Nice.
dinner. So I'm going to be preparing some things in advance because, you know,
What's on the menu?
I cook Greek.
You
We're
do?
having pastistio,
Which is?
the like Greek lasagna. And then we're having patatato.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having that. We're having, of course, the Greek potato salad.
But the patatato, is that going to be with goat?
No, lamb.
Okay. Lamb.
And
What about some dessert?
yeah, pastis. The little pastillo, those little honey.
Oh, it's like the sesame seed.
Sesame seed and honey.
Those are good.
Yeah.
They're
I brought
very
those to
savory.
a little gathering I was at the other day, and of course everybody there is either vegan or there are whatever those other things
Right.
are.
Well,
And-
some vegans can't do honey because that's a animal byproduct.
well, these people did,
Okay.
but they don't do sugar, right? So
Okay.
they can do agave or
honey,
so,
stevia. Okay.
yeah.
And then after we're done in Louisville, we're going to head over to Cincinnati, Ohio, where we have a bridal shower for my soon-to-be cousin, your soon-to-be niece.
Right. So your cousin Grant is marrying
Mm-hmm.
Belle, and so you just finished
one of the traditions that we have in newly made up in our family.
yeah.
Should we talk about it? Because we might have talked about it
I
here
know,
on the
but we're doing
podcast
it again.
before, but hey, it's always good
It's
to
time to
remind.
do it again. Yeah.
So basically, we from my grandmother.
Let's go back 68 years. My mom and my dad
We're on their honeymoon.
were on their honeymoon. And somehow, some way, I guess my mom's, was it a Polaroid picture? I don't know.
Snapped a picture.
Snapped a picture of my dad in his bathing trunks lounging on a lounge chair. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, but I have to say, this might sound really weird, but my dad was a good looking man.
Yeah, he looked great. He was like
a
lounging.
hottie,
He's got
yeah.
the muscles. He's got the swim
Tan.
trunks on. Tan.
And my mom, since that day, since her honeymoon, has carried that photo in her wallet.
Right.
And there are times when we'll be out somewhere and, you know, and she'll say, oh, they're in joking, somebody will say, Del, why'd you marry him? You know, she goes, oh, hold on a second, gets her purse, gets her wallet and says, oh, you want to see why I married him? And shows the picture of my dad. And she does this all the time. And it's so sweet to see that after all these years, she has this picture of him in the wallet. So our family starts, you know, growing, and now the nieces and nephews are getting married.
Right.
And my idea was that this has to be a legacy, and it makes me want to cry right now, but it has to be a continuing.
And I think it also reflects the love that Mimi and Poppy had for one another. You know, she constantly had this picture in there. She would constantly pull it out and be like, this is why I married this man, you know, as kind of jokingly, but also like how much she loved him, that she kept that in her wallet for however many years.
Well,
60.
it's now been 68.
Right. Still has it. So basically what we do now is we pose the soon-to-be husband, the groom. We pose him in the same kind of lounging position. I Photoshop it into being a sepia type of little Polaroid,
thing, yeah.
and we hand it to the bride-to-be as in a wallet.
In a wallet. So she, at the bridal shower, she opens our gift and it's a wallet.
Right.
And because she's not she's marrying the boy of our family, she may not know that we do this. I don't know that she was at the other
I think
shower.
I think she was.
Well, whatever. She's getting a picture of, and so
right.
we just finished.
Everyone gets it.
You just finished that, and it's and everybody that has them carries this in their wallet.
Right. Yeah, it's great. So that's our little fun tradition, and we're so excited to go back into our family gatherings, say hi to everybody, and thank you for listening. Remember, we are celebrating our 4-year anniversary of this Astrological Intentions podcast. We have our Orbit necklace sale. It is a buy one, get one free. So basically, it's all 50% off. With each orbit that you purchase 2, your name is added to a raffle for a free 1-hour reading with Sandy. You don't want to miss this, so shop the sale now. Click that link in the description, and this ends August 1st. So make sure to do that real soon so we can get these orders out to you. Thank you again for listening to this episode. We will see you next week, everybody. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.